It is an emotional and historic day for Pope Benedict XVI and the world's 1+ billion Catholics.
The Pope left the Vatican for the last time as pontiff today and gave a final blessing to the cardinals who will elect his successor. Father Scott Steinkirchner from Edgewood College is back with us tonight to help us kind of understand what's happening in Rome. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. Good to be back.
For people who are not Roman Catholic, explain to us how the process of choosing a successor for the next pope works.
Well, it all starts, it's all about the College of Cardinals now. And the cardinals were historically people in charge of the big churches around Rome, because of course the Pope is a bishop of Rome. But when the church becomes international, then they are titularly head of these basilicas around Rome, but really from all over the world. And there can be the most 120 of them. There's 115 that are going to vote right now. And their primary function is when the Pope dies, they elect the next one. They're advisors and they have status in the church as that, but they're really, their function of the cardinals is now starting.
And that's what the conclave is.
And that's what the conclave is, conclave with key. The cardinals are all locked in, and they used to really be locked in a room. They're not anymore. They're staying across the street and they have to kind of walk, you know, but they don't talk to anybody, and they have a time that's very serious where, okay, we're about to begin, and other cardinals are here who can't vote because they're over 80 years old, but we're all here and we're talking. But now the conclave will start. Everybody who shouldn't be here leaves. The doors are closed, they're locked. And from that point until we elect a pope, they're not allowed to talk to anybody who isn't a voter.
Oh,
And the new pope will be one of those cardinals.
Most likely. It doesn't have to be, but most likely.
Are there front runners?
There are, but you know, you ask two people, you get two different lists of who the front runners are. Of course, in this country, we think of Cardinal Dolan from New York.
That's right, right. So when I mean, maybe, you know, there's never been an American pope.
There hasn't, right?
So maybe.
And I think one of the things that they'll be looking for is somebody who's a good communicator. People can warm up to and can convince people of the message of the church, and that's certainly his strong point.
Do you think this is a moment, a pivotal moment for the church in terms of, I don't know, what's the word? Not reforming, but adjusting a little bit to more modern times?
It is, because the Second Vatican Council was 50 years ago. And it really, they say in the church, that's like that in the church. That's how long it takes for it to kind of have its effect. And the Second Vatican Council is when the Catholic Church really did step into the modern world, and as a whole institution around the world kind of accept the good part of modernity in order to help with the bad part of modernity. So now that we're 50 years out, we're really trying to, how is that going, and do we want to do it different? This is a time to really make Vatican II really come to life and have effect.
Here we see Pope Benedict speaking for the last time. What's his life going to be like now?
I think it's going to be exactly as he wants it. He can go back to being that academic, that holy man, lead a life of quiet prayer, but also study. And then I think people will be consulting him a lot about, you know, what should we think about this? How should this work? But he's not responsible, so he can just give his opinion and then say.
And this is all new territory. We've never had an ex-pope before. They've all died.
Well, for 600 years, right? Yeah.
And he's going to be wearing just what you have on here.
That's right. Well, he has decided that he's going to keep wearing white. You know, his outfit looks very much like this because it's patterned after the Dominican habit. There was a Dominican pope 450 years ago. They used to wear black. And he decided, I wanted to keep wearing my white habit. And they've worn white ever since. But he's going to take off this part. So he's going to remove this kind of shoulder cape part, and he'll just wear the tunic part.
Wow, interesting.
And no red shoes.
No red shoes, brown loafers. Well, we're going to have you back once we find out who the new pope's going to be. How's
All right.
that?
Very
Father,
good.
thanks for being with us today.
Very interesting. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Okay.